do for a while. We're going to do an American versus British terminology quiz. So I should also say that if you're using the studio as well, it's better to open up a new window in the studio and then paste the website link into that window and stream it, present it from a new window rather than a tab, and that will bring up the full screen so you can see. And I can't believe it's taken me ages to figure that out. So we're just going to give it a minute or two, just let people join. Just going to send out a few messages. I am on only audio, so hopefully you can all hear me okay. So I'm just going to give it a minute or so. Just send out a few messages to get people in here. But if you're watching on the replay, put hashtag replay. So this is all about American words, which we've kind of touched on before, but I wanted to see how much, well, basically what you call these types of foods. I think they're all foods. So good morning, Melanie. Good to see you. Thanks for coming in. I've just sent you a message. So without further ado, let's make a start. So you can comment in the chat below what you call these types of foods. So if you see above the screen, you can see the first one on the screen. So as I scroll down, what do you call this? Do you call these fries or do you call these chips? Now, if you look really closely at the image, I would say they are fries. What do you think? Put in the comment below what you think. Are they fries or are they chips? So I'm going to select the ones that I think they are, and then we'll sort of review the answers at the end. So are these fries or are these chips? I would say they are fries because they're much thin. So are they fries? 82% say they are fries, while 18% actually say they are chips, believe it or not. Right, here's your next one. What do you call this? Is this a sweater or is this a jumper? Is it a sweater or is it a jumper? So for me, as I say, I'll go through the comments at the end. Excuse me. I would say that is a jumper. 75% call it a sweater. So I'm guessing this website is actually mostly for people, mainly Americans have probably done this quiz. So, but 75% call it a sweater, 25% call it a jumper. Right, here's your next one. Are these chips or are these crisps? So are these chips or are these crisps? They're in a plastic bag, plastic foil bag, very thin. We call them crisps. Wow, 79% call them chips. Only 21% of them call them crisps. That's quite controversial because I wouldn't go to the bar and say I'd like some chips, please. It just sounds odd. So crisps, 21%. We call them crisps. There's lots of different types of crisps. Ready salted. What's your favourite type of crisp? What's your favourite flavour? For me, I think it's cheese and onion. Cheese and onion crisps are the best. But it might differ where you are. But yeah, they're definitely not chips. I'm going to get a lot of comments about that now. Here's your next one then. Oh, this is it. Is this a zucchini or a courgette? Is this a zucchini or a courgette? Zucchini or a courgette? This is a bit tricky actually because you see me do a lot of HelloFresh meals and the HelloFresh meals call them zucchinis, but I had never heard of a zucchini before a couple of years ago. So I'm going to stick to what I originally know it as, and that is a courgette. So I'm sorry, Americans, it is a courgette. 80% do call it a zucchini. Only 20% call it a courgette. So remember, this is a website that's mainly been done by lots of people. So I think in total amount of votes there, we've had about 20,000, over 20,000 people took part in this poll or survey. Right, here's your next one then. What is this? Is it an eraser or a rubber? Is this an eraser or a rubber? So if the camera's going, is the picture going a bit blurry? I apologise, but you can hear me anyway. So is this an eraser or a rubber? I would call this a. Ooh. It's funny though. If it's on the top of a pencil, we would call it a rubber. Depending on what you're using it for, and by that I mean like artwork or rubbing out ink, rubbing out pencil lead from if you made a mistake, we would call it a rubber. But if it was on the top of a pencil, sometimes it's called an eraser, but we don't really say eraser. We had to call it a rubber. I would say it's a rubber, but that's really slang up in Yorkshire. I would say a rubber. It's not really something that, or even across the country, it is a rubber because it's rubbing out your mistakes. So we call it a rubber. A rubber. Again, 26% only say it's called a rubber, and 74% call it an eraser. Okay, here's your next one then. Oh, is this a dumpster or is it a skip? Well, actually, I would call that something else. That is not a skip because a skip is yellow and very, very heavy, which removes a lot of stuff from your house if you're having a refurbishment or maybe you're on a building site and you're trying to get rid of a lot of specific materials. That's the skip. This is a wheelie bin. So this is a wheelie bin. We don't call them either a dumpster. So I would say neither of them. What do you think, Melanie? If anyone's watching from Britain, from England, yeah, Melanie's calling it a bin. It's neither of those, is it? So it's not a skip. I guess I'm going to have to go to dumpster, but we don't even say dumpster, but it's more of a bin, a wheelie bin. It's a recycle bin because it's green. So not a dumpster, but on this one, 83% call it a dumpster. But again, it's not a dumpster. I wouldn't say it's a dumpster. A dumpster to me is like grey and I don't know, like metal. I would call them like metal bins rather than, and it's definitely not a skip either. Right, your next one, what is this? Ooh, is it arugula or rocket? Arugula or rocket? I mean, to me, I would just call this leaves, salad leaves, but I have heard the term rocket before, like a rocket salad. But again, it's not something that's even really that common in England. Well, it is to eat, but we don't call it a rocket. But I'm going to go with rocket. Oh, again, controversial. 30% call it rocket, 70% call it arugula. I've never even heard of that before. Arugula. 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 Where's that name? It must have been from Spain or Mexico or somewhere. So anyway, on to the next one. What is this? Is this shrimp or is this prawns? I think this is an easy one. I say it's prawns. Hello, Jay. Good to see you. Welcome to this broadcast. Is this shrimp or is this prawns? Jay's going for prawns. Jay's would have said rocket as well. So I think those that tend to choose more British words can count themselves as British. Hello, JB. Good to see you. So is this shrimp or is this prawns? I would say it's prawns. We never say the word shrimp. If you're on holiday and yeah, in Spain, maybe you might say shrimp just to be a little bit more classy. But shrimp makes you think of the Caribbean, doesn't it? But I think also shrimp as well tends to be more fresh, whilst prawns you think more of frozen because you can freeze. You don't ever see frozen shrimp. Well, not over here anyway. So we're going to go with prawns. Here we go. 29% said prawns. 71% said shrimp. Interesting. Okay, here's your next one. What are these? Oh, are these biscuits or are these scones? Are these biscuits or are these scones? I would say they're scones. However, I know in America you have biscuits for breakfast, which are like a scone texture. So scones are completely different to biscuits. I mean, we don't even call biscuits. That is not a biscuit at all. That is not a biscuit. A biscuit should be flat, not risen. Well, they do rise, but they don't rise that much. So a lot of people say scones for scones. Do you say scone or do you say scone? Do you put jam on first or the cream on first? That is the question. So a lot of people are saying scones. Jay's saying biscuits. I'm sorry, Jay, that is not a biscuit. How is that is not a biscuit? How is that a biscuit? A biscuit you can't dunk a scone in your cup of tea. It's not a biscuit. Melanie's saying flat and crunchy. Yeah, it's got to be crunchy whilst the scone is nice and soft. There are biscuits you can have, I guess, but that's after you've put it in your tea. So Melanie's saying a scone, as I said, a scone, not a scone. So we're going to go for, sorry, Americans, but it's a scone. That is a scone. Oh no, 62% say it's a biscuit. That is not a biscuit. That is not a biscuit. They've not lived. Come to England, you'll see millions of biscuits, but it's not a biscuit. Sorry, that's one I've got to disagree on. Okay, here's your next one then. Is this, ooh, a popsicle or an ice lolly? Is it a popsicle or an ice lolly? Gravy biscuits, definitely not. No, 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 no. Unless, are they sweet though? They must be sweet. You're gonna have to make this. You're gonna have to make this. Oh, Jay saying popsicle. Sorry for the accent there. Voice of JB saying popsicle. Oh, yeah, it's a lolly. It's a lolly. It's not a nice. It's not a popsicle. A popsicle is like, for me, I think when I think of popsicle, I think of like a hard and sweet on like a lollipop, not an ice lolly. But it's an ice lolly. You don't say, do you say iced popsicle? What if you went into a shop and said, I'll have a popsicle, please? And they'll be like, oh, they give you like loads of lollipops, hard and sweet lollipops. Or they might say, I'll have an iced popsicle, please. I'm very biased. Yeah, well, I have to be. That's the whole idea of this broadcast. It's just, yeah, we need some final, final. This is what it is, and if you think anything different, then then that's up to you. It's a play on icicle. I mean, we what do we call them as well, Melanie? We call them something else. There's like a fab. Is it fab? FAB, the fab lollies. They've got like they have like the blackcurrant at the bottom, and then they have the orange flavour, and then at the tip, and they're shaped in as a rocket, but they've got like little like hundreds and thousands on them. If you've never had a fab lolly in your life, you must have one. They're just the best, Melanie, aren't they? They're just the best. If you go to the seaside, or when you're young, growing up, you're like, yeah, I'll have a fab lolly, and that's all you're getting because the ice creams was more expensive. Lollies are suckers over here. Yeah, the fab lollies, they're the best. They're the best. What I do like as well is the Twix. You know, the Twix and the Mars Snickers ice cream. Oh, they're just the best when it's really hot. So, right, let's do the next one there. Oh, which one are we going for then? We're going to go for, let me just return back to it. Ice lollies. 78% said it's a popsicle. I know, it just sounds so weird if I was going to go to an ice cream van and say, I'll have a popsicle, please. They'd be like, never heard of what's a popsicle. Right, here's your next one then. What are these? Are these sneakers or are they trainers? Sneakers or trainers? Sneakers. Has it gone blurry on the screen? I apologise if it has, guys. Oh, so Melanie's saying trainers. Jay's also saying trainers. What do you think? If JB's there, the difference how the letter Z is pronounced. Yeah, that's another one. Yeah, Z. We say Z. It might come up on here. You never know. Oh, JB's being a bit controversial. He's saying sneakers. Sneakers. The answer, I can tell you. Well, not the answer, but I think it's trainers. It's always trainers. Let's see how many. 80% say sneakers, 20% say trainers. Ah dear. Right, your next one then. Is this a couch or is this a settee? Is this a couch or a settee? This is an interesting one because I think over the last maybe 15 years, there is a lot more people calling it a settee. But I think was it in like maybe like the 70s, the 1970s, there were a lot of people used to call I mean, I don't call it a couch or a settee. I call it a sofa. But a couch is more British. Settee sounds more like 70s, 1970s style. You know, this is the settee because it was luxury, wasn't it, at the time? And well, it still is luxury, but a couch seems to be more quite budget, like a budget chair, like a couch, rather than like a sofa. But I would say it's called a sofa, not a couch. But I think most people would call it a settee. Is it a settee? A couch. So 91% call this a couch, 9% call it a settee. Wow. Settee is Victorian era, says Jay. Yes, it does. It sounds very. It's very much longer ago. Hello, Mel. Yep. Sorry, Jay says hi, Mel and JB. Jay calls it a divan. Divan? I've never heard that before. Americans don't train, says JB. And JB was saying couch. Yeah, for me, I think couch just sounds more. I don't know. Maybe it's just like I don't know. It just sounds very budget. Like a couch. Maybe it's just how it's just marketing, isn't it, really? Or the divan. Oh, divan, of course. Yeah, divan. Right, let's go on to the next one then. The next one is. What is this? Oh, is this a diaper or a nappy? Is it a diaper or a nappy? And if you're watching this on the replay, pop your comments in as well. I want to hear you. I want to see your comments. Melanie says, you snob. Thanks, Melanie. I should say as well, make sure you check out Melanie's broadcast from last night. It was World Poetry Day yesterday, and Melanie did a fantastic job last night on her broadcast. So please go and watch it on her replay. It was very good. You did loads of poems last night. It was amazing. So Melanie's saying nappy. Melanie calls it a nappy. We did. We had a good laugh. It was a really good night. So go and check that out. I would call this a nappy. It's not a diaper. But I know you Americans are going to be like, in fact, just because you are Americans watching, I'm going to go for diaper. Not just so that I don't lose you all. So diaper, 74% call it a diaper, 26% call it a nappy. Okay, what is this? Is this cotton candy or is it candy floss? Although when you put the two words together, like it's got the word candy in it, but now when I think of candy floss, I think of, is this something that you use when you're trying to dig something out between your teeth? Probably the candy floss. But we call it candy floss. Are we flossing our candies? What do you call it? Is it cotton candy or candy floss? Melanie's saying candy floss. Oh, JV's saying cotton candy. What? Jay's saying cotton candy as well. Okay, I don't have to go with all your answers, but I'm gonna go with cotton candy. But I say candy floss. But the term cotton candy is starting to come across the pond now, I think, in places. There are people asking for cotton candy. Because I have heard it before when I've stood waiting for one. Somebody said, can I have some cotton candy, please? So 77% say cotton candy, 23% say candy floss. Again, it all comes down to marketing, doesn't it? And what you see and what you want. Okay, what are these then? Are these cookies or are these biscuits? Although looking in the picture, there is actually a few cookies in there. So the rest are biscuits. I would say both. What do you think, guys? Because there are a few cookies in there. The cookies are the ones right in the middle, next to the chocolate biscuit. So if you call that chocolate biscuit there and the bourbon biscuit, if you call that a cookie, there is something seriously wrong. So there are biscuits in here, yes, but the cookies are the ones which are round, which are not chocolate, but they have chocolate chips on the top. So that is a cookie. The rest are biscuits. The ones that are round with the jam in the middle, they are Jammy Dodgers. The fingers, the chocolate fingers, they are there as well in the picture. I think we've got some shortbread in there. There looks like to be some ginger nuts in there as well, and some custard creams. And there's custard creams in there. English people are getting Americanized. Oh, that's happened for years, JB. There's lots of things that has come across. Usually we follow. I think we're just starting to get used to KFC actually, and with gravy on, because they started doing gravy with KFC. Anyway, cookies or biscuits, guys? Cookies or biscuits? So I'm only saying biscuits, yeah. But as I said, I'm going to go with biscuits because there's more biscuits in the picture than there are cookies. Yeah, I wish there was a both section, but there isn't. So let's go with biscuits. Oh, this has gone halfway. Look, 34% say biscuits and 66% say there are cookies. So they must have seen the cookies, and the ones that thought there was just biscuits but saw the cookies must have thought it was cookies, and the Americans have then voted for cookies as well. But they are biscuits. Right, your next one then, is this an elevator or a lift? An elevator or a lift? So Melanie's saying lift. Yeah, biscuits sound more British in this context, definitely, JB. Oh, the voice, JB is saying elevator. I think also it depends where was the picture taken. Because if the picture was taken in the States, then it's going to be an elevator, isn't it? But I would call that a lift. It's really strange, isn't it? All the different words for the same thing. So we're going to go with lift. It's a lift, guys. So if you're watching in the States, make sure you call it by the correct term. I'm going to get a load of abuse now. Lift. 70% say it's an elevator. It just sounds so wrong. It sounds so wrong. Not an elevator, it's a lift. Ah dear. Next one then. Oh, what is this? Oh, this is an interesting one, guys. Oh, what is this? Is it an eggplant or an aubergine? Be clean, guys. Come on. Is this an eggplant or an aubergine? No, I'm behaving myself, Melanie Faye. I'm behaving myself. Is it? I knew there would be one. Mr. Opera. Mr. Opera says male anatomy. Melanie saying aubergine. The voice is saying aubergine. Although it's funny, I was in the supermarket last week and I said to the woman, I said, do you have any eggplants? I actually said that. And she just looked at me and thought, what is an eggplant? So even the staff didn't know what it's called. I said, yeah, it's an aubergine. I accidentally said it by mistake. Okay, so Jason, eggplant. It is Melanie. Yeah, I agree, Melanie. I'm going to go with an aubergine. Sorry, guys, it's an aubergine. 76% call it an eggplant. That's 12,800 votes, and 24% call it an aubergine. Okay, we've got a few more to get through then. Okay, what is this? Is this a crib or a cot? Is this a crib or a cot? I would call it a cot, although, again, the term crib has actually come across to the UK, I think, because they started doing these. Do you remember them baby boxes? So basically, there was new mums that had babies but didn't have the money to afford all the. She might have been a single mum, or she might not have had a lot of income, I think it was the NHS. They do it in Denmark, I think, and in Switzerland or somewhere, or the Netherlands, where they give boxes, baby boxes, and I think they called it the box a crib. So that, because of that reason, I think that's why the crib has come across to the UK. But I still would call it a cot. But I think the word cot has a lot of terrible connotations to it now, because there used to be a lot. I'm sorry to say this. I don't want to put, but think of the worst thing that can happen, especially in an unsafe cot. I think you mostly know what I'm talking about. So, especially during, like you say, the Victorian times, when they used to have cots, and they would light the candles. Not going to go there, but so I think that's why there's been a lot of negative things about the word cot, plus a lot of other things as well. So I think that's why the word crib is more popular now. So I think I'm going to go with crib. I would say crib. A lot more people would call it a crib than a cot. So no, I don't know. And what I'm saying, Melanie, is that there's still a negative connotation with the word. Not saying all the time, but there are. Otherwise, I wouldn't have thought of it. So, but not all cots are. Yes, now there is. Yeah, they're much safer now. But the word in itself, which means why they've changed the word to a crib. That's what I mean. So I'm going to go with crib, and I think that's more common now. So is it crib? Yes, it is crib. 76% call it a crib, whilst 24% call it a cot. Okay, here's your next one then. Oh, are these candies or are these sweets? Are these candies or are these sweets? Now, when I think of candies, I think of, like I said before, lollipops, sugar lollipops, candies like candy sticks, and sweets. These are what are called penny sweets. We call these penny sweets here. And you'd go to the little shop, and then pick a mix, for example, and you'd put in as many in your bag as you want, and then you weigh it on the scales, and then you print a sticker out, take it to the till, and then you pay for it. So, but are these candies or are these sweets? I would say these are sweets without a doubt. But I'm going to see the comments. Are these sweets or candies? Melanie's saying sweeties. Jay's saying sweets. Melanie says, when I was young, they were sweeties. Yes, I think sweets are the ones, like a sweet shop. We don't say candy shop. Well, some people do. Take it to the candy shop. Not that type of candy shop. So is it sweets? What? 67% call these candies. 33% say sweets. I think there needs to be a few British people doing this quiz. It'll boost up that number. Okay, here's your next one then. Ooh, is this cilantro or is it coriander? Cilantro or coriander? Although I just seem to call everything like that looks green like this, I just call it parsley. I know it's not parsley, but it actually tastes quite similar when I'm cooking, because I've got loads of parsley but not as much coriander. But is it cilantro or coriander? Hello, Happy Gora, good to see you. In Pakistan, they call it sweets as well, yes. Oh, Melanie's saying coriander. Jay's saying that's just wrong. I hope we don't have a fallout between this, but it is quite funny to see all the differences. Coriander says Melanie. Jay says cilantro. JB saying coriander as well. Yeah, I knew you would start, Melanie. Parsley. We say parsley. Parsley. I think it's because there's a town in Yorkshire called Barnsley, so it's like parsley, Barnsley. Happy Gora says coriander or corridor. Okay, so I think majority of people are saying coriander. Sorry, Jay. Sorry, Americans. It's 66% say it's cilantro, whilst 34% call it coriander. Okay, here's your next one then. Oh, controversial again. Is this soccer? Well, that's a ball. Is it soccer ball? Well, is it soccer or is it a football? What do you actually call that though in the States? Do you call it a soccer ball or a football? Because that is a football. And if it's shaped like a rugby ball, which we call a rugby ball, That would be that's not a football. That's a rugby ball. If it's not round. Jay says soccer. It's a football, Jay. It's a football. Oh, no worries, JB. Thanks for popping in. We're gonna do these. We're gonna do these a few more. Maybe like once a week or something with different ones. I wanted to do it since New Year, really, but I just haven't got round to it. So if you've got a particular theme you want me to do, we could try like Swedish words, or we could do anything you want. Just let me know in the chat. Hello, Claire. Good to see you watching on Twitch. So Claire says soccer ball. So I think, as a Leeds United fan, probably one of the best football clubs in the world, which you can disagree on. We're going to go with football. 67% call it. Right, I'm not looking at that. Not especially when our national sport is football. So, okay, what are these? Are these bangs, or is this a fringe? Bangs. I've never even heard of that. Bangs. I thought that looked. I thought that was somebody else then on the screen then. Jay says, what bangs? I've never heard of that before. Bangs. Why would it? I don't understand why. Why would it be called a bang? Where's that come from? I don't know. Bangs. I just don't make sense. Am I missing something here? Okay, Melanie says fringe. I would call it fringe. It's a fringe. But I know we're gonna be wrong, Melanie, aren't we? We're gonna be wrong. Let's find out. Is it fringe? I've never heard of that before. Bangs. I don't get it. I really don't get it. Explain to me, Jay, what that is, because I know you say it's a fringe, but I don't get why it's called bangs. I don't get it. I really don't get it. So 71% say it's bangs, 29% say it's fringe. Okay, here's your next one. Trunk, or is it a boot? Now, we use both of these, I think. Not so much trunk, we use boot, the boot of the car. I don't get it, do you? Melanie's saying boot. Thanks, Jay, but yeah, I'm totally lost with that one. Jay says trunk, but you say boot. Happy Gora says trunk. Yeah, I think, you're saying trunk. There's 2 for trunk. I would say boot. So 2 for boot. I'm going to go with, okay, because we know the term trunk, I'm going to go with trunk. It's going to be trunk, isn't it? But we say boot. 72% say trunk. 28% say boot. You also use the term rear as well, like in the rear. I'll let you work that one out. Okay, what are these? Are these sprinkles or hundreds and thousands? Sprinkles or hundreds and thousands? Sorry, Jay. Sorry, Jay. Hundreds and thousands, says Melanie. I say hundreds and thousands. But then I've heard the term sprinkles before as well. Like at the ice cream truck, or they'll say, "Do you want some sprinkles on there?" So I'm gonna go with sprinkles. I don't think we use hundreds and thousands that often anymore, do we, Melanie? I think it's a marketing thing. It all comes down to marketing and what they call things. But sprinkles, I think most of them are called sprinkles now, just because they don't want to spend the extra cost on the label to have to put hundreds and thousands on. So sprinkles, 85% call it sprinkles, 15% call it hundreds and thousands. Oh, now this one you say all the time. What is that? What is that that you're cooking with? You see me cut these up all the time. What is one of these? Is it a rutabaga or a Swede? Is it a rutabaga? Well, it's the same thing, but what do you call it? Is it a rutabaga or a Swede? So whenever you've said to me before when I'm cooking and you see me chop this up, I can now officially call it a rutabaga, but we call it a Swede. It's a type of turnip, isn't it? A type of turnip. So Jay's saying rutabaga, Melanie says Swede. I know we're gonna be wrong, Melanie, but hopefully you'll learn something new today. Like know what it is. So is it a rutabaga or a Swede? I'm gonna go with a Swede. 73% call this a rutabaga, 27% call it a Swede. Interesting. So yeah, you can chop them up, take the skin off, boil them, chop them up into small cubes, boil them, and then crush them up, like mash them up. And you can mix it in with carrots. I like it on the side. If you've got any recipes for Swede, other than like a roast dinner, let me know. Right, here's your next one then. What are these? I'm guessing it's going to be pants or jeans. Yeah, pants or trousers. We call these jeans, but are these pants or are these trousers? Yeah, it's terrible to cut them, Melanie. You've got to have a really good knife. But once you get used to doing it, try to leave it out of room temperature as well, because then it makes it easy to cut. So Melanie's saying jeans, Melanie's saying trousers, Jay's saying trousers, Claire's saying pants. I can understand where the word pants come from, because pants comes from the word pantalones, which is in Spanish for trousers. So pantalones. But we say trousers. Yeah, I remember you saying that about that. Yeah, these are trousers, because your pants are what go underneath, that cover up your privates. So whenever you say, I need some new pants, don't go up to an advisor or checkout and say, excuse me, but where are your pants? You'd be like, excuse me, that would be a criminal offence to ask for somebody to show them, can you show me your pants, please? Or pantaloons, or dungarees. There's loads of names, isn't there? But I'm going to go with trousers, because if you were asking somebody for some pants, you would end up in the underwear section. So make sure you don't do that. So trousers is the correct one. 77% say pants. Sorry, but that is wrong on all levels. Okay, let's go on to your next one then. Oh, that's it. So it doesn't tell you exactly a score, because there's no score or anything. So hopefully you enjoyed that. Thank you all for coming in, guys, and we'll do another one next week or next time. So have a really great day, everyone. I'm not sure if I'm going to be on tonight, because I don't think I will be on tonight. I was going to do a cooking theme, but it'll probably be tomorrow now. We'll do a recipe tomorrow. So thanks for coming in, everyone. Have a really great day. Thank you all for your awards, and I shall see you tonight in Melanie's broadcast, 9 p.m. Don't forget, and go and watch the replay, okay? So go and watch the replay back. So from Melanie's go onto Melanie's profile, go and watch her World Poetry back. Hello, Adam, good to see you. You'll have to watch this replay, and I'll see you later. Take care, everyone. Thanks, guys.